is the father of Brahma ji? Who is the mother of Vishnu ji? Who is the grandfather of Shiv ji? To know about the same, must listen to the sacred speeches of universal teacher, enlightened saint Rampal Ji Maharaj, based on the holy scriptures of all holy religions.
By souls, you are listening to the creation of the nature. Unless you know about the creation of nature, there is no way to either understand the spiritual knowledge of the subtle knowledge or the holy books. You should think this creation of nature to be the master key. This is the master key that leads to the understanding and a path to all the treasure of these divine texts. It is the main key. That is the reason why you all are time and again imparted the knowledge about creation of nature. In creation of nature, you have heard about the knowledge given by God Kabir Dev Ji about the creation of nature done by him, as told by him in the voice of this humble servant. Up till now, all has been told to you verbally, just told it to you. Now what do our holy books tell us on the subject of the creation? By souls, just like the way students go to school, they have a specific course. They are assigned a specific syllabus. The syllabus is distinct, and the teachers who teach the students according to this syllabus are right, while the teachers who wander out of the ambit of this syllabus are doing it all wrong. They are not the well-wishers of the students, rather they ruin their lives. So by souls, all the saints who are imparting the knowledge which is opposite to and against the knowledge from the religious books, and are giving up the methods prescribed in scriptures, and are busy with carrying out and teaching arbitrary conduct following their own ways of worship, neither are they getting any benefit of human life themselves nor their followers. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavad Gita in chapter 16 in the verses 23 and 24. Verse 23 talks about those who abandon the methods of scriptures and do arbitrary devotion. Neither can they achieve any happiness, nor is their afterlife any better, and nor they attain any divine power. This means it is futile. In verse 24 it is said in this way, Arjun, for duties and proofs of duties, scriptures are the evidence. Duties means worshipping according to the scriptures, the ones that you should do, while the ill deeds that are not worth doing are told to us by the religious books. Some people talk about religious folk tales. We should never accept them. So all these who keep talking about Brahmaji, Vishnuji, Shivji, they are being talked about by the people of pious Hindu religion, speaking against the Shastras. These acharyas, gurus, sages and great sages, they say that Brahmaji, Vishnuji, Shivji, they are immortals. They have no father or mother, and they are the creators of the universe. They are not good teachers, abandoning the methods of scriptures. They are preaching folk tales. What are folklores? It is hearsay knowledge with no proof of authenticity. Now I will show you Srimad Devi Bhagvat and about Sri Brahma, Sri Vishnu, Sri Shivji, what knowledge is given in it. You all can see in illustrated Srimad Devi Bhagvat, Sachitra Mota type, Hindi only, published by Gita Press Gorakhpur. And who is the editor? Hanuman Prasad Poddar, Chimanlal Goswami are the editors, and printer Gita Press Gorakhpur, Govind Bhavan Karyalay, Kolkata Ka Sansthan, in the third chapter on page 123. Lord Vishnu is praising his mother, goddess Durga. What is he saying? You are pure-faced. This whole world is being described by you alone. I, Brahma and Shankar. Vishnuji is saying, we all exist only by your grace. There is our Avirbhav meaning birth, Tirobhav meaning death. We take birth and that we die. Only you are eternal, the mother of universe, nature and an indestructible goddess. You need to keep in mind the word nature. Durga is called nature too. It would be useful to you in the 3rd, 4th and 5th verses of 14th chapter of Gita Ji. Gita Ji is in a coded form. Durga Ji is called the nature. This clarifies that Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh are born and they die. Lord Shankar says that goddess, if the great Vishnu appeared from you, then Brahma, who generated from him, is your son too. Then does this not make me, Shankar, who does Tamoguni Leela, your child too, meaning that you have created me too? O Shiva, you cleverly create the whole world. Your qualities are always capable in the creation, regulation and destruction of this world. These qualities led to the generation of Rajogun Brahma Ji, Satgun Vishnu Ji, Tamogun Shankar. Born of these qualities, we Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar regularly present ourselves to our duties. Pious souls, this is holy Devi Puran has clarified in these few lines that Sri Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they are mortals, they take birth and will die. Durga is their mother, and Rajgun Brahma Ji, Satgun Vishnu Ji, Tamogun Shiv Ji. And fourthly, this clears the concept that they can only perform the regular duties. All that is destined is written in fate. They cannot make changes to it. They can only give results as according to one's deeds, they give the results. This is the rule and this is written in our religious books. Now we will show you in detail. We will look at in the same Devi Bhagvat again. In detail this time, look at this. This is the same Devi Bhagvat published by Gita Press Gorakhpur. This is Devi Bhagvat and the 3rd chapter begins here. This is page 113. This is page 113. Janme Jai asked, Lord, you have given the command to perform Amba Yagya, that is the fasting during the holy Navratra, as a method of praying to the goddess. So, who is that goddess? How did she first appear? What was the reason for her arrival and what qualities does she possess? How is Amba Yagya performed after that? Brahman, along with that, please tell me about the creation of the universe, because Bhudev, everything that has been told about the universe and what is in what way is known to you. Janmajay is asking Vyasji, I have heard that Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra, they are the three deities with qualities it is their duty to create, regulate and to destroy the universe respectively. O son of Parashar, Vyasji, now I want to hear about them in detail. Please have mercy and explain. Vyasji says, King, your intellect is huge. What you have asked just now about the origin of Brahmadi, which means now Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh came into being, it is a topic of great difficulty. A number of questions arise from it. This exact question I asked from Naradji earlier. Vyasji is saying, I asked Naradji about the same knowledge. I said, Saint, you have great knowledge. Please be kind enough to tell me who is the head of this elaborate universe. Saint, what was the origin to this universe? Dvijvar, also do tell if this universe is perishable or is it eternal? Was it created? On page number 114, chapter 3, by a single power, or were there multiple creators? In absence of a doer, no task is done. This question arises in my mind. Some people, believing Lord Shankar to be the ultimate one, consider him to be the creator of the world. They say that the God of gods, Shankar, is an indestructible man. He was never born nor will die. He exists in a spiritual form. He rules over the other deities too. A number of others praise Lord Vishnu. He is the most powerful being, imperceptible, holder of all riches. He is the ultimate God. A few others say that Brahmaji was the main reason behind the creation. Many a teacher say that Bhavani is the one who favors the aspirations of all. She is the Adi Maya Mahashakti who stays with the ultimate God for performing the tasks in form of nature. She has an intimate relation with the Brahm. Brahm here is the Kal, the Kshar Purush, and the intimate relation means they are husband and wife. She stays involved in the task of creation, regulation and destruction of the universe. She is the mother of all beings and the deities too. She never takes birth or dies. She is known by the names Vaishnavi, Shambhavi, Brahmi, Vasavi, Varuni, Varahi, Narasimhi and the amazing Mahalakshmi. On the page 115, a number of eminent munis say that the one who is flawless, formless, unattached, without physical quality, charismatic and comprehensive Brahma is the one who has created the universe. In some places in the Vedas and Upanishads, he is referred to as the Brahma Tejomaya. He is the superior man with thousands of heads, eyes, ears, arms, mouths and feet, etc. Moving on. Now, Vyasji asks Naradji that I have heard different people saying different things. Someone calls Shankar as the creator while some say it was Vishnu. Who is the creator? To this Naradji says, Vyasji, it was in some ancient time that even I had same doubts in my heart. So I went to my father, the Amit Tejasvi, Brahmaji's place, and I asked him the same question you are asking. I said, Father, what was the origin of this entire universe? Vibho, was it you who alone created it? Or was it Vishnu who created it? Or was Shankar the creator? Lord of the world, you are the soul to the world. Please do tell the truth. Which deities should one pray to? And which of them is the greatest and the superior one? Sinless Brahmaji, please have the mercy to answer these questions and clarify the doubts of my heart. O son of Satyavati, Vyasji. Hearing such questions of mine, the father of all, Brahmaji, started telling me. Brahmaji said, "Son, how should I answer this question? It is a question of great difficulty. O great person, you can find a solution to this problem completely from Lord Vishnu. These three deities have no knowledge. That is the reason they keep shifting burden from themselves to the other. Go ask the other." He suggestively points towards Vishnu, yet he shares his own knowledge. Brahmaji says, "Mahamate, there is no such detached man in this world who knows this secret. One who is solitary, free from pride and jealousy, only he can know the knowledge of this secret at first." Now Brahmaji talks of the creation. At first there was water everywhere, all the beings of the world, none of them existed. Then from lotus was I born. That time I saw no sun, moon, trees or mountains, none. Page 116, Chapter 3 of Devi Bhagavat. Was to be seen sitting on the lotus petals. I wondered, how was I born suddenly in this abyssal water? Who is my savior and who is the superpower who creates and destroys the world at the end of time? Nowhere a landmass could be seen which was holding all that water. Where did the lotus come from? Thinking of it all, I got down in the water. Brahmaji says, further, for thousands of years altogether I explored the earth, but nowhere on it could I found a beginning of end to this water source. Right then I heard an ether voice, "Tap karo, tap karo." That is when I started doing the same. For thousands of years I sat on the lotus performing the rituals. Then I heard yet another ether voice asking me to create. I was confused on hearing it. I wondered what was I supposed to create and what my duties were. At that moment, two dangerous demons named Madhu and Ketab appeared in front of me. They desired to battle me amidst that great ocean. I was frightened of them. Holding the stem of the lotus, I got down into the water. There I saw an amazingly great man. His body was as dark, black as a cloud, clouds like the dark black clouds. He was dressed in yellow, had 4 arms. He was resting on a bedsheet of the great serpent. The neck of this universal god was adorned by a rosary, Shankh, Chakra, Gada and Padam. These 4 armaments gave him an amazing grace. I luckily caught a sight of the great Lord Vishnu. Resting on Sheshnag, being tranced, he was in a deep sleep. All his functions were tranquil. Naradji, looking at the Lord sleeping on the great serpent bed, I became anxious. Right then I remembered Goddess Yognidra. I praised her grace. Then the merciful goddess appeared to escape from the body of Sri Vishnuji. Vigraha means the body, appeared to come out of the body of Lord Vishnu, making an incomprehensible form, ascended towards the heavens. Divine jewelries were adding to her beauty. As Yognidra escaped the body of Lord Vishnu and made her way to the heavens, Sri Hari sat up immediately. Pi souls, as I told you before about the creation of the universe, this servant told you verbally what God himself told us. God Kabir Sahib said, he said that Durga is the mother of Brahmaji, Vishnuji and Shivji, Sri Devi, and Kal, Jyoti Niranjan, is their father. What do? They give birth to the 3 kids Kal, who is Brahm and is also known as Kshar Purush or Kshar Brahm. It is from the marital union of Kshar Brahm and Durga Ji. Shri Brahma Ji, Shri Vishnu Ji and Shri Shiv Ji are born. They come to existence. And what do? They keep them comatose right from the birth. They are made unconscious and they carry on taking care of them, and when they grow up, they are brought to senses. Durga Ji had acquired a different form, spirit form, a spirit, and entering the body of Vishnu Ji had led him to an unconscious state. Similarly, Brahma Ji was placed on a lotus flower while he was still in a comatose condition. He said it himself that he had no ideas from where he appeared on the lotus and who his parents were. When he came down, he saw Vishnu Ji in an unconscious state, and as soon as Durga escaped from him, he gained consciousness. In this same way, Lord Kal has kept everyone in confused state as per a well-established plan. No one was in doubt the true knowledge. And now you will see what happened further. In a third place, Lord Shiva was kept in the unconscious state and then he was brought to senses too. Then the three were preached and brought together. Now look at concise Srimad Devi Bhagavad, third unit, and we were reading here. Then the merciful goddess appeared to escape from the body of Sri Vishnu Ji. Vigraha meaning the body, appeared to come out of the body of Lord Vishnu, making an incomprehensible form, ascended towards heavens. Divine ornaments adorned her beauty as Yognidra escaped the body of Lord Vishnu and made her way to the heavens. Immediately Sri Hari sat up. He fiercely fought with Madhu and Ketab for 5,000 years. Then demons were killed. At first, the demons were fascinated by the criticism from the goddess. Then Lord Vishnu laid them on his lap and ended their lives. Now there were only me and Lord Vishnu left, only two of us. Then Rudra appeared too. We caught the holy glimpse of the Bhagavati Adhya Shakti of Durga. We were amazed by her grace. We praised her greatness. It was then the Adi Shakti started telling us. The goddess said, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwar, you should now carefully get involved in your duties, creation, regulation and destruction. These are your duties. Brahma Ji said, Bhagavati Adhya Shakti. Here we are reading page 117, Skand Unit 3. Had a really sweet voice. It was melodious and pleasant. We heard it clearly. We asked her, Mother, how will we be able to work on the creation of these species? There is lack of extensive land, all the areas underwater. Hearing this, a smile appeared on the face of that gracious goddess. Almost then, a beautiful aircraft landed from the sky. The goddess ordered us, deities, fearlessly and enter this aircraft agreeingly. Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra, today I will show you a wonderful view. We obediently followed the Bhagavati's words. We sat down comfortably on that giant plane decorated with jewels. As we sat down, the goddess, with her power, elevated the aircraft to the sky. Brahmaji says the aircraft flew with the speed of mind and took us to an unknown place where there were many beautiful trees laden with all sorts of fruits. A very beautiful city appeared in front of it. A wonderful wall added to the beauty of the city. There were many high-rise castles in it. Yagyashalas were made at the proper places. Moments later, we arrived at another beautiful place. There we saw a surpassing paradise. Under the dense shadow of Parijat sat the Surbhi cow. Next to her was sitting the Airavat elephant. Hundreds of apsaras, celestial nymphs, demigods, Gandharv and Vidyadhar sang and enjoyed themselves in that paradise of the Parijat tree. Then we saw that superior Lord Indra was there too. Next to him was his beloved Sachi. The sight of the paradise, page number 118, astonished all of us. Let's look forward. Almost then our aircraft speedily took off and made its way to the divine abode Brahmalok. All the deities respectfully bowed in front of that place. It was the seat of another Brahma. Lord Shankar and Vishnu were surprised to see him. An assembly was going on. Aha! Lord Shankar and Vishnu asked me, four-headed one, who is this indestructible Brahma? I answered them, I don't know anything about who is the regulator of this universe. Lord, who am I? Who are they? And what is our purpose? These are the questions that are confusing me. Then suddenly the fast-paced, like-mind aircraft left that immediately place and arrived at the beautiful summit of Kailash. Looking forward, as soon as the aircraft reached, a three-eyed Lord Shankar came out of a magnificent palace. He was riding the Nandi bullock. He had 5 faces and 10 arms, a crescent moon adorned on his head. Within a moment, aircraft left that summit at a pace faster than speed of the wind. It made its way to the Vaikuntha heaven. This was the relaxation place for goddess Lakshmi. Son Narad, it is impossible for me to describe the grandeur I saw there. After seeing that wondrous land, Vishnu felt like he was swimming in an ocean of astonishment. A Brahma, a Vishnu and a Shankar is on board the aircraft, and then there is another one there too. There was another Sri Hari who had lotus-like eyes. His body was shining like the flowers of Alasi. He was dressed in yellow, he had 4 arms, and he was riding Garud, the king of birds. Divine ornaments were adding to his amazing charm. His beloved Lakshmi ji was whisking a flabellum on him, witnessing the astonishing setup of the eternal Sri Hari. We were all spellbound, dumbstruck, staring at each other. We hoped on to the best seats of the aircraft. Soon the aircraft started rushing through the wind. Right in front of us was an ocean filled with water sweet as nectar. The water was really sweet. By souls, the preaching that God Kabir Dev Ji had given about the universe created by him contains a very detailed explanation. Now, Brahma Ji, Vishnu Ji, Shiv Ji are sitting on the aircraft, while Durga Ji makes it fly into the sky. The place where they arrived was the seat of Brahma Ji, and there was one Brahma Ji in the aircraft and another one in the Brahmalok. When they saw that, Vishnu Ji and Shiv Ji asked Brahma Ji, who is that other Brahma? Brahma Ji, the one from the aircraft, says, I do not know who he is or who we are or how we were born or what our purpose is. Then who was that? It was Kal, as I have told you in the beginning of the creation of nature, while at the time of the creation, at the topmost point of the universe, right at the summit, he had created 3 places. Let me show you a picture of the universe. This will help in easy understanding. Take a look. A small illustration of the universe. Look at this. It is shaped like an egg. This type shape, that is, it is called elliptical, right? Now keep looking. We will start from the bottom. Right at the bottom is Patal Lok, hell, Talatal, Rasatal, Sutal, Atal, Mahatal, Talatal and Vital. This is earth. This is the region of Shiv, also known as Shivpuri, region of Brahmaji, Brahmapuri, region of Vishnuji, Vishnupuri. Now common region between the heaven and hell, and this is the region of Dharmrai, who is the judiciary appointed by the Kal, and here the accounts are maintained for everyone, and then this place, it is Brahmalok. All of this is called Brahmalok. This is one heaven, one Indra resides here too. This is Indra is different and thus is known as Maha Indra. And then what is done here? This is Mahaswarg. This is the place where the duplicates have been created by him. Here there is a false Satlok, fake Alaklok, fake Agamlok and fake Anamilok have been created here. Here there are 88,000 settlements. Here is the Saptpuri, and above all this Brahmalok, this is Brahmalok. Above this Brahmalok, he has made 3 secret places. As I have told you, this is a Rajogun dominant region where the Kal Ksharpurush resides in the form of Brahma, and with him lives his wife Durga in the form of Savitri. He disappeared from here and reached here before their aircraft. This is Tamogun dominant region. Here he himself resides in the form of Mahavishnu, Mahashiv, and his wife Durga in the form of Uma. And this is the Satogun dominant area further. Again, he appears in the form of Vishnu and Durga stays in the form of Mahalakshmi. When their aircraft reached via this way, they first saw the region of Indra. First, there were huge trees and then they saw other regions and then entered from here to there. They could not go any further. They saw Maha Indra and they turned. Then they went up this way. As they went further, first, they saw devil or the Ksharpurush who sat in the guise of Brahma. And then the aircraft made its way to here. Then they saw a Shankarji and saw that it was devil, the Ksharpurush himself, who was disguised in the 3 different faces. And then they came to the area of Vishnu. Here was another Vishnu and Lakshmi ji sat there with him. His Durga was whisking a flabellum on the devil, the Ksharpurush, who was in the form of Vishnu. Then the craft came here to here, right here to the water, sweet water ocean, where there is a separate region for Durga. Let's read further. We have read the Srimad Devi Puran up till here. Now we come here. We have reached the ocean of sweet water. Now let's come here, pious souls. All that our holy books are trying to prove today, all this knowledge was already written in the words of God Kabir ji 600 years ago in his Sachidanand Ghan Brahm speech. Kabir Vani written in words 600 years ago from today, and today we are realizing it in all these holy books. So this proves that God Kabir ji is the complete God who shared this knowledge with us before, which is now present in our holy books. So we have read up till here that these 3 are sitting on the aircraft, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv ji, and Durga ji made the aircraft fly with her own power. First they reached the area of Brahma ji, which is the place of Kal, that is Rajogun dominant. The Ksharpurush, meaning Kal Brahma, was himself residing, disguised as Brahma. As they moved further, he was there again as Shankar, and then further he appeared as Vishnu. Then where did the craft go from there? This is all just to clarify any doubts from their mind, just so that they do not think themselves to be gods, to rule out any misconception. Now pay attention. This is Devi Bhagvat. Srimad Devi Bhagvat is published by Gita Press, Gorakhpur. This is the same book that was shown to you before. We have read till here. We read it on page 118. Our craft moved swiftly and arrived at a magnificent place that was Brahmalok. Here was the place for another Brahma, and there was one Brahmaji in the aircraft and another one in the Brahmalok. He was Brahma, the Ksharpurush, who was trying to cheat them. He was residing there disguised as Brahma. Seeing him confused got Shankar and Vishnu greatly. An assembly was going on. Lord Shankar and Vishnu asked me, four-headed one, Chaturanan, who is this indestructible Brahma? I answered them, I don't know anything about who the regulator of this universe, Lord. Who am I? Who are they and what is our purpose? These are the questions that are confusing me. Then suddenly the fast-paced as the mind aircraft left that place immediately and arrived at the beautiful summit of Mount Kailash. As soon as the craft reached, a three-eyed Lord Shankar came out of a magnificent palace. He was riding the Nandi bullock. Then came out the devil, who is the Ksharpurush. And within a moment, craft left that summit at a pace faster than speed of the wind. It made its way to the Vaikunt Lok, heaven. Who was there? There was Sri Hari, who had lotus-like eyes, and Kal, who is the Kshar Brahm, Ksharpurush, and he had 4 arms, and he was riding Garud, the king of birds, and his beloved Lakshmi ji was whisking a flabellum on him. Now we come here, let us look down. Soon the aircraft started rushing through the wind and flew away. Right in front was an ocean filled with water, sweet as nectar, the water which was really sweet. We have read page 118, now we will read page 119. There was a beautiful island in the sea. Oh! There was a pleasant-looking bed laid on that island. The bed was decorated beautifully with jewels. A beautiful woman was sitting on the perfect-looking bed. Durga made her way to the bed and sat there beforehand. The look of the goddess was so influential it looked as if 1,000,000 stars were shining together in her face. She had a really beautiful face. Her teeth had a reddish tinge. He was more beautiful than 1,000 Lakshmis. The look of the goddess was so influential it looked as if 1,000,000 of stars were shining together on her face. She had a really beautiful face. Her teeth had a reddish tinge. We have already read this. Now this, looking at her. We all were greatly astonished for some time. We waited there. We discussed amongst ourselves, who is this beautiful lady and what is her name? We have no knowledge of this. She has thousands of eyes, arms and faces, looking from far away. She looks so beautiful. She is not a celestial nymph, neither a Gandharva Kanya nor a Dev Kanya. Narad, being suspicious, we stayed there for some time. Then Lord Vishnu looked at that Charu Sahini Bhagavati and conscientiously decided that she is Bhagavati Jagdambika. He said that this Bhagavati is the source of origin for all of us. Mahavidya and Mahamaya are also her names. She is the complete nature. Now, pious souls, Vishnuji is saying this because devil had already enlightened Vishnuji's mind. Now we will read page 120, Concise Devi Bhagvat, published by Gita Press, Gorakhpur. She is the same angelical beauty. Here Vishnuji is saying, bit information about his background was shown to him to Vishnu by God Kal and Durga. She is the same goddess whom I met after the apocalyptic time. At that time, I was a young child. She was the one who was cradling me. Right there, the evidence that Vishnuji was born is that he was a small child. Once, on a leaf from the banyan tree was a sturdy bedding. Laying comfortably on it, I was sucking my toe with my lotus-like mouth. Aha! He says she's the same goddess whom I met after the apocalyptic time. At that time, I was a baby. I was a young child. She was the one who was cradling me and I was sucking my toes. Catching a glimpse of her has reminded me of this. She is the mother to all of us. Aha! Now on page 121, Sri Vishnuji is saying, Lord Vishnu says, salutations to Goddess Nature. Endless salutations to Bhagavati Vidhatri. Lord Vishnuji is greatly praising the goddess here. Look here, what we read in the beginning on page 123. We come back there. Lord Vishnu is praying to his mother Durga, you are pure-faced. This whole world is being described by you alone. I, Brahma and Shankar. Vishnuji is saying, we all exist only by your grace. There is our Avirbhav meaning birth, Tirobhav meaning death. We take birth and die too. Only you are eternal, the mother of universe, nature and an indestructible goddess. Oho. Lord Shankar says, Goddess, the great Vishnu appeared from you, then Brahma, who generated from him, is your son too. Then does this not make me Shankar, who performs spectacles, as a Tamoguni, your child too, meaning that you have created me too? Shive, you cleverly create the whole world, your qualities are always capable in the creation, position and destruction of this world. Born of these qualities, we Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar regularly present ourselves to our duties. Now, pious souls, you have read through the holy texts yourselves. And all these gurus of the holy Hindu religion, teachers, Mandaleshwars, Mahamandaleshwar, Gita Manishi, holders of great knowledge of Gita and Vedas and Purans, they had not the slightest clue about these. They are unwise, unaware till now. They talked about God and we thought them to be capable and believed in their tales of immortals. They could not tell us about the position of them, while it is very much clear with their life history how they are positioned. Pious souls, when I began the tale of the beginning of creation, I told you about Lord Kal, who is the Ksharpurush and the father of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. He is the husband of Durgaji, husband of Sri Devi and father of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. He had asked Durga not to share his secret with anyone. It was a strict instruction. This was the reason why Durga did not share with Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh the information about the Ksharpurush. But truth could not be hidden for long. The proof of this can be given right here in Devi Bhagavat. When Brahmaji read the Vedas, he asked Durga that it is written in Vedas there is only one Brahma and no other is equal to him. Brahma also means the God. He is the Almighty. He is the only one worth worshipping. So is that one you? Brahma is asking Durga, so are you the one? Now let's see what Durga answers to this. See here. This is Srimad Devi Bhagavat, which is Durga Puran, Devi Puran, what we are reading, published by Gita Press, Gorakhpur. In the 3rd chapter, page number 125, we are reading, till 123 we have read. Look here at 124. Brahmaji says, listening to the prayers of amazingly glorious Lord Shankar, Bhagavati Jagdambika started talking. Now Brahmaji is asking, this is the part of Brahmaji. We are reading page 125 in the third Skand unit. In the foundation of this formed and formless world, there was no second person before you. Neither was a third one. Ekam evidvityam Brahma. It won't be right to falsify the words of the Vedas. Now Durga tells them, I'm the one and everything, I'm your father and the mother too. Now as Brahmaji read the Vedas, he said that we cannot say that the Vedas are not correct while experience suggests differently. Thus, there is a massive difference in the sayings of Vedas and the actual experiences. Vedas say, Ekam eva dvitiyam Brahma. So, is that you, that spiritual formed Almighty? Or is it someone else? Please help me clarify this doubt. It is because of some great good deed that I have had this chance of being such a humble servant at your feet. Whether you are a woman or a man, please share with me this secret. Now the chapters 4 and 5 of third unit are completed. Now begins the sixth chapter. Brahmaji says, this was when I made the requests to Bhagavati Jagdambika. She replied to me in her melodiously pleasant voice. The goddess told me that she and Brahma are one. That makes it a two. The truth can never be hidden. We are one. Between me and the Brahma, there is not the slightest difference. Who is he? I am. And who I am is he. It seems to be just a confusion of mind. Whoever knows our subtle secret. This proves that there are definitely two of us. He knows that. We have read till page 125. Now we will read page 126. He is the intelligent man, is the saint with subtle spiritual knowledge who understands the difference between us. There is no doubt that he will become free from the bonds of the world. Brahma is just one. Look further. I exist in the form of power to do my duty. Gauri, Brahmi, Rodri, Varahi, Vaishnavi, Shiva, Varuni, Kauberi, Narsinhi, and Vasavi, they all are my forms. For various purposes, I establish myself in form of power in those deities so as to carry out various functions as required. Becoming a part with the deity is my habit. Now looking further, pious souls, you have been reading the holy books yourselves. You have read page 125 of the third Skand. Brahmaji is saying, when I asked Durgaji, the goddess Jagdambika, that the Vedas state Ekam eva dvitiyam Brahma. Advitiyam. There could never be other like him. He is the all-powerful Brahma, while the Upanishads and you yourself say that you are the one who created the universe. There is no one else other than me. And the words of Vedas cannot be falsified either. Our experience tells us that the God is formless, and the Vedas say that he is in form. Thus, there is a lot of difference in our experiences and the realities. So is that Brahma really you, or is it someone else? Brahmaji kept on asking. Durga first tries to deviate him from the topic and says that there is no difference between her and the Brahma. Who is he? I am. And who I am is he. Whoever knows our subtle secret is a superior man, intelligent man, and is a saint having subtle spiritual knowledge. Look further on page 129. It clears everything we are reading. The third skand, Concise Devi Bhagvat, page number 129. Look here. I have told you about the creation in brief. This is what the goddess Durga is saying. This is the part of Devi's preaching. Here the Devi says on page 129, I have told you about the creation of nature in brief, O great deities. Durga is telling the Lords Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, now to complete my task, you should get on the aircraft and depart as soon as possible. If you face any difficulty when you will think of me, I will appear. Deities, you should always keep thinking of me and the eternal God. Here they again became two. Earlier she said, I am everything, and now she is saying Durga is referring to Brahma as the eternal God. Keep in mind us too. Here again too, if you keep in mind us too, there would be no doubt while you carry out your work. Brahmaji says, after saying all this, Bhagavati Jagadambika bid us farewell. She ordered the pure characters to take the form of Lakshmi for Vishnuji, Mahakali for Shankar and Mahasaraswati for me to become our wives. We left that place and in a different place we were established as three male figures. So this humble servant told you about the creation of nature by God Kabir Ji and how the universes were created, and when it was all told to you by this servant verbally. But today, the holy books, our religious books, have proved the same. 600 years ago, what God Kabir had preached us, today the same is written in our holy scriptures, and these fake gurus, teachers, fraudulent and unwise people having no knowledge of scriptures, they say that Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh are immortals. They are the supreme powers and do not have any parents. Now, the concept is quite clear about Durga, that Durga Ji is their mother. She got the three married to the three forms of herself. As the goddess says, I can become many from one. She made three forms and married them to her sons. Now the question remains, who is their father? This concept will be cleared. The mystery will be solved, confusion will be cleared, and the doubts will be removed by the help of Shiv Puran. Now let us read the holy scripture, which these fake Hindu gurus could neither read well nor understand. They only had the working knowledge of Sanskrit and no clue about the subtle knowledge, and we just blindly believed that the Sanskrit-knowing people are sages, great Rajis, Brahmins, who might have read the books correctly. They must have taught correctly, and God, Kabir Dev Ji, Sahib Ji, who descended in the form of a weaver 600 years ago in Banaras, he gave the realization that they all have been lying. They are not clearly acquainted with the holy texts. They have no clear knowledge of the Almighty, but that time we could not trust him, as these fraudulent gurus and teachers told us that Kabir is illiterate, who does not know Sanskrit language and lies about Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. He talks of their birth and death and talks about their parents. God Kabir Ji lies. Oi hoi. God Kabir Ji told his dear soul Dharamdas Ji that Dharamdas, when 5,505 years of Kali Yuga are over, it will be realized what I am telling you now is true. What? अब मैं तुमसे कहूँ चिताई, त्रिदेवन की उत्पत्ति भाई। माँ अष्टंगी पिता निरंजन, ये जमदारुण वंशन अंजन। तीन पुत्र अष्टंगी जाए, ब्रह्मा विष्णु शिव नाम धराए। What I am telling you today, that Brahma, Vishnu Mahesh's mother is Durga Ji and their father is Jyot Niranjan, who is also known as Kalk Sharpurush. What I am saying today, when 5,505 years of Kali Yuga are over, then all of it will be true. At present, it is that time of Kali Yuga right now, which is 5,500 years, had completed in the year 2000 AD. Let me show you a proof now. Let me make the concept that at present it is 5,500 years. 5,500 years of Kali Yuga that is going on now. 5,511 is right now. So you can say that 5 years ago in 2000, it was 5,505 years were completed. Let me prove it to you. Look here. This is Himalaya Tirth. The name of the book is Himalaya Tirth. And it is published by the followers of Shankaracharya's tradition. Himalaya Tirth. J.P. Namburi, Deputy Chief Task Officer, Shri Badrinath Kedarnath Mandir Samiti, Treks and Tours, Kolkata, from here. The first publication came out in 2009. Publisher is Ranju Chakravarti. Like this. This printer is Giri Print Service, Kolkata. Now let us show you the page number 42. Page number 42. Book is Himalaya Tirth. And look, here is the description of Shankaracharya. Near Adi Kedareshwar is a divine marble statue of Shankaracharya Ji. As per Shiva's secret, as per Shiv Rahasya, there is a book named Shiv Rahasya. Here is the Sanskrit from it. Trisahastra Varshanam Shankaro Yatihi, which means as 3,000 years of Kali Yuga will be over, in order to win the Buddhists, Shankar will appear in the form of an ascetic, which means that Lord Shankar himself will come in the form of Adi Shankaracharya once 3,000 years of Kali Yuga are over, in order to win over the Buddhists. Bodh Mimamsak, after visual of Shankaracharya, it is written further. Now, another one will be shown to you. This proves that once 3,000 years of Kali Yuga are over, at that time Adi Shankaracharya will be born. This is being clearly proven by this second book, that 508 before Common Era, that is 508 years before the era of Christ, was the Shankaracharya Ji born. Have a look. This is a book, Jyotirmay Jyotirmat. He is the Adi Shankaracharya Ji, and he is the one who is the present Sri Swarupanand Ji Shankaracharya. He is the Shankaracharya of two Peeths. It is more like he is the in charge of them too. This is a book, Jyotirmay Jyotirmat. And look here. This was published in January 2007. Guardian is Anant Shri Vibhushit Jyotish Peethadhishwar and Dwarka Sharda Peethadhishwar. He is the owner of the two. Jagat Guru Shankaracharya Swami Shri Swarupanand Saraswati Ji Maharaj. Editor, writer and compiler is Vishnu Dutt Sharma, Director of Adhyatmik Uttan Mandal, Delhi. The source of inspiration is the printer, its fine print and packs. For consultation and cooperation, publisher here is Akhil Bhartiya Adhyatmik Gyan Uttan Mandal, 1 by 3234 Street number 2, Ramnagar Extension, Mandoli Road, Shahdara, Delhi. Like this. Let me show you page number 11, the life description of Adi Shankaracharya in brief. Around 2500 years ago, Shankaracharya was born during the era of unstable belief in Kerala by the bank of river Purna in Kaladi village to a religious Nambudari Shaiv Brahman, Sri Shiv Guru, and his religious wife Subhadra. Sri Shiv Guru was a Yajurvedi of the Taittiriya cult and the father of Adi Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya was born due to the blessing of Lord Shankar. Thus, he was named Shankar as per the traditional Guru Mats, Guru Paramparagat Mats. The year of his holy birth was 508 BC or 476 BC. It is 476 means that he died at the age of 32. Then, reducing 32 from here leaves 476, which means 508 years ago from here. And as a lump sum, approx 2500 years ago. He was born about 2500 years ago, where Kaladi. It proves that 508 before Christ, 508 before Christ, they are writing in 2007, considering the 2000 years AD from then the 508 years ago. That means from 2000, 2508 years ago, if you add it to 3000 makes 5508. This humble servant in 1994 was given the order of initiating. In year 2000, God showed mercy and blessed me that I saw these holy books. Following year in 2000, after viewing these books, our holy religious books, this servant had created a book of his own, the definition of God. Then there was the summarized message of God, and Gehri Nazar Gita mein, where I made a literal translation of Gita Ji. So God said when 5505 years of Kali Yuga will be over, then everything I am saying today will come to be true, Dharamdas. What did God say? That Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh are mortals. They are born and they die. Brahma, Vishnu and Shivji's father, Jyoti Naranjan, Kshar Purush, he is Kal and their mother is goddess Durga. But no one believed this 600 years ago. From year 1398 to 1518, God kept on repeating this same preaching for 120 years. But these fraudulent gurus and these stubborn teachers did not let this preaching of God himself reach us. God Kabir Das ji used to say, "Ye duniya ajab divani, meri kahi ek na mani." Look how people are becoming followers of these false teachers, that they are believing the folklore to be true. And the truth we are telling they are not able to trust. For this, God has selected this specific time in Kali Yuga when all of the public would be properly educated. When the public is literate, the believers are literate, they can themselves read the religious books and their hearts will fill with joy. What we want is God, and all these religious texts, the holy 4 Vedas, the holy 18 Purans, the holy Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ji, we kept on considering true, and we still do. then whatever is written in them, we should accept it now, we should escape the clutches of these teachers reciting folklores that will be beneficial for us. And God Kabir Ji says, Jaan booj sachi taje aur kare jhoot te ne, ताकि संगति हे प्रभु स्वप्न में भी ना दे. If even after looking at all these evidences one does not leave the false ones and accept the truth, then for them God says, जान बूझ साची तजे और करे झूठ ते ने, ताकि संगति प्रभु स्वप्न में भी ना दे. When it comes to such idiots, it's better to stay away. Those who still don't believe after looking at evidence. Even these Adi Shankaracharyas have no proper knowledge of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. They call them immortals. So pious souls, God Kabir Ji said, Ek na bhula, do na bhuli, ye bhuli sab sansari. Now we go further from Brahma Ji, Vishnu Ji to Shiv Ji to clarify identity of their father. And that from his life story. Let's show you Shiv Puran now. Take a look at this Shiv Puran. Shiv Puran in brief, illustrated, bold font, Hindi only. Published by Gita Press, Gorakhpur, Shiv Puran. In brief, illustrated, bold font, Hindi only. Editor Hanuman Prasad Poddar. Editor and printer Gita Press, Gorakhpur. Govind Bhavan Karyalay, Kolkata ka Sansthan. Now we will start from here. We start from Rudra Samhita, page 98, Shiv Puran, in brief. The 5th chapter of Rudra Samhita ends here. Listening to his son Narad, the father of the world, Brahmaji said the following. Now we will read the 6th chapter of Rudra Samhita. Brahmaji said, Brahman, superior amongst the deities, you are always busy with the tasks for welfare of the world. For the very benefits of the people, you have asked this great question. When the whole world had been destroyed everywhere, there was only darkness. Neither the sun could be seen nor the moon. Nothing was known about the other planets and stars. It was neither a day nor the night. Fire, earth, water or air, none of them existed anywhere. At that time, Tat Sat Brahm, who is heard as Sat, only he, existed. Now, on page 100, Shiv Puran in brief, we are reading Rudra Samhita. About that Parabrahm, the various wise and unwise utterances, the following options are presented. He, after some time, presented the desire for a second. Within him aroused the pledge to procreate, to become more from one than from that formless God. With his imagination created a shape and figure for himself. The formless God without a figure is God Sadashiv. Both ancient and modern scholars call him God. At that time, the one living alone and indulging in leisure at his own will, that Sadashiv, from his own body, he himself created a self-featured figure, Shakti, who was indispensable from his own body. That superpower is Pradhan, leader, Prakriti, nature. Now try to remember who this is. This is Durga, who was created from the body of devil. At that time, the one living alone and indulging in leisure at his own will, at Sadashiv. Who is that Sadashiv? He is devil. From his own body, he himself created a self-featured femme figure, Shakti, who is indispensable from his own body. Brahmaji is telling all this. Kabirji says that Kal had consumed Durgaji and Kabirji brought her out of there. These things are sort of similar. God Kabirji endowed this knowledge on Brahmaji Then Brahmaji, taking some from that knowledge and some from his own experience, gave the explanation. At that time, the one living alone and indulging in leisure at his own will, that Sadashiv. Who is this Sadashiv? He is devil. From his own body, he himself created a self-featured femme-figure Shakti who was indispensable from his own body. That superpower is said to be Pradhan, Prakriti, nature, Gunvati, Maya, Buddhi Tattvaki, Janani, and Vikar Rahit. That Shakti power has been named Ambika. She is also called Prakriti, nature. Do remember that Durga is also known as Prakriti, goddess of all, and Tridev Janani, the mother of three deities, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Shri Durga Ji is called as Tridev Janani. She is also called Nitya and Moolkaran, created by Sadashiv. That Shakti goddess had 8 arms. Did you understand? This is about Durga. Various ornaments adorn her divine figure. That goddess is thriving with various forms, qualities, talents, conditions, and she possesses a number of armaments. Clear? Although she is solitary, coincidentally, Maya takes the form of more than one. She was the one who made 3 forms, Savitri, Lakshmi and Uma, who married Brahma, Vishnu and Shiv. Although she is solitary, coincidentally, Maya takes the form of more than one. She was the one who made 3 forms. He who is Sadashiv. This is the information on Kshar Purush, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh's father. He is called Param Purush, Ishwar, Lord, Shiv, Shambhu and Maheshwar. Now see page 101. Rudra Samhita, chapter 6th is what we are reading. They completely smear themselves with ash. That devil-faced Brahm, you can call him Kal or call him Brahm. Call him Kshar Purush or Jyoti Niranjan. That Kal-faced Brahm, along with Shakti, it is a misprint, along with Shakti, that is Durga, had created a Shivlok at the same time. That great place is known as Kashi. That is the place for Param Nirvan or Moksha, which is located right at the top of it all. They in the form of lover and beloved, Shakti and Shiv, Aha. In form of lover and beloved, which means as a husband and wife, Durga with devil. Either call him Kal, Kal-faced Brahm, or call him Sadashiv, the father of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Durga and devil in their eternal ecstatic form reside in that beautiful place. Shiv and Shiva. Here he is the Kal-faced Brahm because sometimes he disguises as a son Shiv too, because he never comes face to face with anyone in his true form. Shiv, who is Kal, the Kal-faced Brahm, he and his wife, Shiv and Shiva, who are Kal and Durga, did not abandon that place even at the time of apocalypse or the ultimate doom. Devarshi, Brahmaji is telling Naradji at one time, while wandering in tranquility in the paradise, Shiva and Shiv, Kal and Durga, Durga and Kal, had a desire of creating another male, that is, to procreate in form of a son, on whom the burden of regulation of the universe can be laid, so that we both could live in Kashi and have our own will leisure and enjoy nirvana. Once the decision was made, the Almighty, Universal Lord Shiv, Kal-faced Brahm, shared an intimate relation with Durga, rubbed nectar on the 10th part of his left side, consummated as a couple. Then there appeared a male entity, a son was born. Look at page 102. Page 102 of Shiv Puran in brief that we are reading. Right then, to the son who was born, the devil-faced Brahm. The devil-faced Brahm means this Shiv said, "Child, since you are vast and comprehensive, your name should be popular as Vishnu." So the child that was born of Durga and Kal, he was named Vishnu. Chapter 6 of Rudra Samhita has been read. Pious souls, these are the same religious books which we considered as the base for acquisition of our knowledge. The teachers, Brahmins, gurus, they used to tell us so. And so is written in Shiv Puran. That is the reason we are telling you. Such is written in Vishnu Puran or in Devi Puran. And we used to trust what they used to say, the folk tales told by them, because we thought that they have the knowledge of Sanskrit language. Today, all these holy books are saying just opposite to the folk tales. That makes it clear that devil-faced Brahm, Ksharpurush, Jyoti Niranjan, Kal or Sada, Shiv, call him what you may. He's the father of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, and call her Durga, Prakriti. She is their mother. It is the union of them both that created Sri Vishnu. This is being clarified by Shiv Puran, the chapter 6th of Rudra Samhita. Then in the 7th chapter, Brahmaji says, then even I originated. The same way by the union of Durga and Kal, they together created. Take a look, this is Rudra Samhita. And we have read chapter 6th up till here. Now we look at the 7th on the page 103. Brahmaji says, Devarshi, sage of the deities. Brahmaji addresses Naradji as sage of the deities. After that, the merciful and all-gracious Sadashiv, just like the way he created Vishnu, created me too, from his right side. And immediately enchanting me with his powers, placed me in the Nabhi lotus of Narayan and then used his power to make me appear from there. This is how, as the son of the lotus, I, Hiranyagarbha, was born. Now here Pi Souls, the translator, got a bit anxious and confused. He thought, how do I write about the creation of Shiv out of Shiv? Because the translator was oblivious to the true spiritual knowledge, and that is why it is said that truth cannot be hidden. Chor churave tumbdi aur gaade pani mein, wo gaade wo par aave, no sachai chhani ne. Now take a look. This is the Rudra Samhita that we are reading. We will show you the proof in Sri Shiv Puran. This is the same Rudra Samhita. And concise Shiv Puran on page 110. Now we look here. Here 9th chapter ends. This is the last part. In this way, Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra are the three deities with qualities. In this way, Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra are three deities with respective qualities, but Shiv is considered to be out of the ambit of such qualities. Have a look at it. These are Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra, and they are different from the Kal-faced Brahma that makes a total of 4. We will clarify it more. Once there was a conflict between Sri Brahma Ji and Sri Vishnu Ji. Brahma Ji said, I am the creator of the universe. To which Vishnu Ji replied, but you were born out of me, you are my son. You were born from my belly, you are my son. This conflict turned into a war. In order to settle this, their father, the Kal-faced Brahma, planted a pillar between the two. It was a towering erection, a radiant pillar really high. Both of them could not find any end to the pillar. This brought the war to an end and led to the searching of the answer about the length and breadth of the pillar. In the end, they say he made the form of Shiv. It is an oath that Kal has taken that he will never reveal his true form to anyone. This is the reason why sometimes he takes the form of Brahma, sometimes that of Vishnu, sometimes that of Shiv. So there he appeared in the form of Shivji and said, Sons, you have forgotten yourselves and the departments that you have gotten from me for creation and nurturing, they are a result of your penance. Similarly, Rudra and Maheshwar also received separate departments from me. Let me show you in Vidveshwar Samhita, in this same concise Shiv Puran published by Gita Press Gorakhpur, which we are reading, and I have shown you before. Hanuman Prasad Poddar is its editor. Now we will read the Vidveshwar Samhita. We'll show you a glimpse of page number 24. This was a radiant pillar that Lord Kal had put between Brahmaji and Vishnuji, and then he himself appeared. On page 25, we will read, Brahma and Vishnu asked, Lord, what are the characteristics of creation, etc. among 5 works? Please impart this knowledge to us both. Lord Shiva, who is actually the devil-faced Brahm, Sadashiv, their father, said, to understand my duties, deep thinking is needed, but I still graciously would tell you about it. Brahma and Achyut, Vishnu, creation, regulation and destruction, death and mercy. These are my 5 duties relating to the world, which are my regular tasks. Now page 26, we read on page 25, now we move to 26. Sons, you both had performed penance which impressed me. Sadashiv, Kal-faced Brahm, is telling Brahma and Vishnu, you had performed religious penance which impressed me, and as a result, you have received the task of creation and nurturing from me. You have received 2 departments, you both like them dearly. The one similar to my great form, here Kal is standing in the guise of Shiv. The one similar to my great form, Rudra and Maheshwar, received 2 distinct tasks too. This is a misprint, tasks of disappearance and destruction. Here, look, these 2 are Brahma and Vishnu. Sons, you have received 2 departments, that of creation and regulation from me, and similarly, the one who has a form like me, because he was standing in the guise of Shiva, Rudra and Maheshwar, they have received other major tasks of destruction and disappearance. This makes a total of 4. Now Shiva talks of the 5th. Look further. This is quite clear that it is devil, the Brahmakshar Purush speaking, and from here we were reading page number 26 with Veshwar Samhita. Take a look. I some time before had shared the knowledge of my spirit form, which is known in the form of Omkar. It is a benedictory chant. At first, the Omkar or Om was uttered from my mouth, and it helps in the realization of my existence. Omkar is the word and I am the speaker. It is the chant of my form. Chanting Omkar regularly is a regular remembrance of me, the Akar from my north mouth, Ukar from the west mouth, Makar from the southern, and the dot, Bindu, from the eastern, and the origin of the predominant Nad from the central part of the mouth. The 5 alphabets, being the 5 parts, have together formed the Omkar. These parts mingled together to create a new greatness in form of the word Omkar. Aha. In Gita Ji chapter number 8 verse 13, the one imparting the knowledge in Gita is the Brahmakshar Purush, who had possessed the body of Sri Krishna and saying Om iti ekaksharam. Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 verse 13 states, the one who imparts the knowledge of Gita Ji is Brahma, he is Kshar Purush. He is speaking while possessing the body of Sri Krishna. It can be said that he is speaking from the body of his son Vishnu, and he is saying Om iti ekaksharam Brahma vyavharam mam anusamran ya prayati tajam deham sahayati paramam gatim. Mam Brahm means of me Brahm. There is only one word Om, nothing else. And by chanting this, one can remember me, ya prayati tyajam deham sahayati paramam gatim. And who remembers him while leaving the body, which means on one's deathbed also remembers chanting the holy name Sahayati Paramam Gatim. By chanting my name, that is Om, the benefit that one receives is Param Gati. This proves that it is devil who is the father of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh is the speaker of Gita Ji. And let's see further where they have made a mistake. The translators have fitted a wrong mantra here. We were reading it here. All the parts that mingle together in order to make an alphabet complete in itself, named Om, and in the verse 13 of 8th chapter of Gita Ji also states, Om iti ekaksharam, Brahma vyavharam, mam anusamram, ya prayati tajam deham, sahayati paramam gatim. Looks like they have made a mistake here by calling Om Namah Shivaya as the mantra of 5 words. It is wrong. It is absolutely wrong. Here it is written that all the parts that mingled together in order to make an alphabet complete in itself became Om. This is incorrect. Om Namah Shivaya. This chant is incorrect. This is another arbitrary act against methods of prescribed in scriptures. We should not follow this. Pious souls, 600 years ago from today, almost 600 years ago, God gave this divine knowledge in His divine preachings in words of Sachidanand Ghan Brahma. In chapter 4, verses 25 to 31 on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Whatever spiritual practices have been performed by the disciples, some worshipped the deities, some conduct self-study, some perform pranayam, etc. And some chose to observe fasts, doing several spiritual practices while following the path of extreme non-violence like roaming around barefooted, covering their faces, some conducting self-study, some regularly reads Gita Ji or Vedas or any other book. It is said that all the worshippers consider their method to be the destroyer of sins. But the 32nd verse of chapter 4 states that in the words of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm, information about the yagyas being the religious rituals, have been given in great details. It is the subtle spiritual knowledge. In the 34th verse of 4th chapter, it states that in the words of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm, which means that knowledge that was imparted by God Himself, that has been called the speech of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm or Brahmane Mukhe. That is true spiritual knowledge. The 34th verse of chapter 4 states you should acquire that knowledge by taking refuge of true spiritual saint. The speaker of Gita says he does not have the knowledge. Now look, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, published by Gita Press, Gorakhpur. Its translator is Jayadayal Goenka. Now you will see. Chapter 4, verse 32. But a little before that, we will start the 25th verse of chapter 4 for the sake of better understanding. Take a look, chapter 4, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In verse 25, it is said, other yogis conduct the yagyas very well. Paryupaste means they pray. This means that some yogis undertake worshipping by conducting ritualistic ceremonies. They pray, Paryupaste, and other Brahmagnau, which means that they pray to the Brahma. They have written this arbitrarily. And through yagya, the spiritual form of self is prayed to. 26th verse talks about the worshippers who try to control their senses to show resistance in the form of havan or sacrificial worshipping, which means they try to stop the sense organs. In other words, it can be said in the 26th verse of the 4th chapter that all the vices are burnt in senses like fire, ritual. In 27, other yogis perform fire ritual with the help of their senses and body and the knowledge of all the actions. Here it means that some people focus on the breathing, they watch and observe the inhalation and exhalation process. It is said in the 28th that those who worship in the materialistic ways feed people, build dharmshalas, and some of them conduct penance, and there are others who perform yajna through yoga. They follow the easier method and consider it to be the path of salvation. This is 28. We are reading 28th and others. Many teachers, so many effort-pouring men, full of non-violent fasts, use the mode of self-study as Gyan Yag, means attainment of divine knowledge. They read the texts like Gita Ji and Vedas themselves. 29 states that there are other yogis use their own breath, the pranavayu or the living breath, as a method of havan by performing pranayam exercises, and then there are many who maintain a very low limited diet. These people performing pranayam perform the havan of their own pran or life by limiting or altering the speed and ways of their bodies. All these worshippers are aware of the methods of prayers that can rid one of their sins. Pious souls, now you have read the 4th chapter of Gita from verse 25 to 30 all. These mean that someone follows a method, the other follows another method of worship, and each considers his method to be the one that destroys sins. If they start understanding that the method is flawed, they will all stop following it. As you just heard in the 31st verse of the 4th chapter, those who do not pray, those who do not believe, neither find happiness in this universe nor the other universe. The 32nd verse of 4th chapter states that prayers in form of yajnas that have been mentioned from verses 25 till 30, many more like these and in much more greater detail about the methods of yajnas. Yag means religious rituals, information about which is given in the words of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm, Brahmane Mukhe. Here mistake has been made by translators of 32nd verse 4th chapter. Due to lack of knowledge, they have translated the words Brahmane Mukhe as sayings of a Brahmin, while they were supposed to write in the words of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm, who is different from the Vedas, because the knowledge imparted in Srimad Bhagavad Gita is similar to that of Vedas. And it has two types of knowledge source. One is the opinion of the Brahmakshar Purush himself, and the other is the opinion of the Vedas. Whatever is given in Vedas can be found to be correct when compared with the Vedas, and to make war, there are a few suggestions that he made, citing them to be his own opinion. Whatever knowledge he has imparted, it means that even he lacks some knowledge, as he himself asked to the knower of the subtle divine knowledge in order to learn about the subtle secrets of divine knowledge. He does not possess the complete knowledge of divinity. This proves that even the people explaining Gita lack an amount of knowledge they possess about Gita. Now take a look at 31st, 32nd verse of 4th chapter. We have read up to 30th verse of chapter 4, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In 31st, it only says, O Krushresht Arjun, those who taste the flavor of nectar from the yajna are yogis who strive to follow the methods of scriptures. Sanatan, Sanatanam Brahmayanti, he is different from the one who preaches in Gita. They make way to the Sanatan Brahma, indestructible God. Those who do not perform the yajnas are not happy on earth. How are they supposed to find happiness in heaven? Now verse 32nd, chapter 4, they have made a mistake in verse 32. Evam bahuvidha yajnaha vitataha brahmane mukhe. Here they have given the incorrect meaning of Brahmane Mukhe and in much more greater detail about the methods of yajnas. Yajna means religious ritual. Information, Brahmane, about whom it is mentioned in the words of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm. The meaning of Brahmane Mukhe was given to be in the words of Brahmane. They have gotten confused here. Let us see the meaning of Brahmane given in chapter 17 verse 23. Pious souls, take a look. This is chapter number 17th. Chapter number 17 and 23rd verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Om Tat Sat iti nirdeshah brahmanah trividah smritah aha. Here, Om Tat Tat Sat Sat iti means this. Trividah means of three types. For Brahman have said the name of Sachidanand Ghana Brahm. Brahmane stands for Sachidanand Ghana Brahm, who is the Param Akshar Brahm, complete God, Sachidanand Ghana Brahm. Then we come to chapter 4 verse 32nd. Chapter 4 verse 32nd. Now we will translate it ourselves in such a way that the religious rituals information is given in great details in the words of Sachidanand Ghana Brahm. He says in the speeches of Vedas, but here the knowledge of Vedas is already being imparted in Gita by its narrator. They have been told in detail. You should think of them as duty, which are to be completed like this, understanding the subtle elements. With this ceremony, you will be free from the clutches of duties and responsibilities. In 33rd, it is said, Shreyan, Dravyam Yat, Yagyat, Jnana Yagyah, Parantam, Sarvam Karma Akhilam Parth Jnane, Paris Mapyate. This means unwisely and without control, material deeds are done rather than making a charity. One should attain the knowledge first. Look here. In the 33rd verse, O Parantap Arjun, rather than performing materialistic yagya of knowledge is much more superior. Yagya of knowledge means subtle spiritual knowledge, which is mentioned in words of Sachidanand Ghana Brahm. Understanding it leads to the completion of all religious deeds and rituals. Now in the 34th verse it is said, the knowledge, the one which is mentioned in detail in the words of Sachidanand Ghana Brahm, the subtle spiritual knowledge. In the 4th chapter, 34th verse, the narrator of Gita asks to go to the knower of subtle spiritual knowledge in order to learn about the secrets of subtle spiritual knowledge, which is mentioned in the speeches of Sachidanand Ghana Brahm. Go and prostrate before them with respect and treat them with care and leave behind all cunningness and ask with simplicity. Then those who understand the godly elements will preach about the subtle spiritual knowledge to you. Pious souls, our great holy book, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ji, gives us such decisive knowledge, but these unwise acharyas, gurus, mandaleshwar, these Brahmins neither understood these texts nor were able to explain it to us till now. They have been telling us all just religious folk tales. God Kabir Ji wants to explain to us. He is telling us that पीछे लग गया जाऊं था मैं लोक वेद के साथ, रास्ते में सतगुरु मिल गए, दीपक दे दिया हाथ. Religious folk tales, just like we used to hear that Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they are immortals, they have no parents, they are the ultimate lords. One should chant Om Namah Shivaya, Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya mantra. No, Gita Ji only mentions that God says that if you want to worship me, then Om is the only word, nothing else. Om iti ekaksharam. Om iti ekaksharam Brahma Vyaharam Mam Anusamaran. Nothing else but Om. It is the only akshar to chant for me and to pray to Sachidanand Ghana Brahm, Param Brahm. The 23rd verse is given in the 17th chapter, which is Om Tat Sat iti nirdeshah brahmanah trividah smritah. If one wants to pray to Sachidanand Ghana Brahm, for that the Tattvadarshi saints would tell you the code word. Om is the chant for Brahm. Tat is for Akshar Purush, as I told you that at the time of creation, the words of Achint led to the origin of Akshar Purush, and that One true God is the Param Akshar Brahm and the overall controller. He is the God Kabir Dev. Kabir Sahib, for him the only mantra is Sat. These are the three mantras: Om Tat Sat, Om for Brahm, and for Akshar Purush it is indicative, and Sat is the chant for Param Akshar Purush Sachidanand Ghan Brahm. One must pray to all three together, which helps in attaining the eternal Father, God, the Param Akshar Brahm. Tat and Sat are indicative words. This humble servant can tell you that on this earth, no one has this mantra. And if on acquiring these mantras from this servant, someone wants to become a self-made guru, then he is your enemy. He is a fraud and a duplicate person. Metaphorically, he is creating duplicate license or a passport, and which is going to make you a criminal. In the words of the Sachidanand Ghan Brahm, oi hoy, 600 years ago from today, let me show you that. Look at the Kabir Sagar. These are the words of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm, words of Kabir and Kabir Sagar. Look how thick it is, and the detail which is given in it. And this is Kabir Sagar. It has 11 parts. It has been published by Khemaraj Sri Krishna Das Prakashan, Bombay. Published by Kabir Sagar Gyan Sagar. Kabir Panthi Bharat Pathik Swami Yuglanand Vihari. Only the Kabir sect followers have kept it in good condition. Printer and publisher is Khemaraj Sri Krishna Das. Director Sri Khemaraj Sri Krishna Das Marg, Bombay. Now I will show you in this. You should take a look. This is the page number in Gyan Bodh, Kabir Sagar, Gyan Bodh, page 20. And here is Bodh Sagar. In Gyan Bodh on Bodh Sagar, page 21, God Kabir Sahib says to his dear soul Dharamdas, धर्मदास ये जग बौराना, कोई न जाने पद nirvana. Nirvana pad means salvation path. धर्मदास ये जग बौराना, कोई न जाने पद निर्वाणा. यही कारण मैं कथा पसारा, जग से कहियो राम न्यारा. This rhyme is wrongly written here. It is a misprint. यही जान जग जीव सुनाओ, सब जीव का भरम नशाओ. अब मैं तुमसे कहूँ चिताई, त्रिदेवन की उत्पत्ति भाई. I will tell you how did deities Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh come into existence. कुछ संक्षेप कहो गुहराई, सब संशय तुम्हारे मिट जाई. भरम गए जग वेद पुराना, आदि राम का भेद न जाना. This is Ram. राम राम सब जगत बखाने, आदि राम कोई बिरला जाने. Now the followers of Kabir were confused. Even they did not understand God, made a mistake here. It was a fault of their understanding, for that God had given instruction to Garib Das Sahib Ji for its correction. From here it is clear, Ram Ram sab jagat kahe. Adi Ram means eternal God, Sanatan Paramatma. Only a few realize Sachidanand Ghan Brahm. राम राम सब जगत बखाने, आदि राम कोई बिरला जाने. ज्ञानी सुने सो हृदय लगाई, मूर्ख सुने तो गम ना पाई. What is said here, I will explain to you about the parents of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Those who are intelligent will understand when they look at the proof, while the idiots who cannot understand, it is in their habit to talk silly. माष्टंगी पिता निरंजन, वे जम दारुण वंशन अंजन. पहले की निरंजन राई, पीछे से माया उपजाई. माया रूप देख अति शोभा, देव निरंजन तन मन लोभा. कामदेव धर्म राय सताए, देवी को तुरंत ही घर खाए. पेट से देवी करी पुकारी, साहिब मोहे करो उबारी. पेट से देवी करी पुकारी, साहिब मोहे करो उबारी. टेर सुनो सतगुरु त आए, अष्टंगी को बंद छुड़ाए. Here in reality it is टेर सुनी तहाँ हम आए. God says, अष्टंगी के बंध छुड़वाए. Now on page 22, ज्ञान बोध, कबीर सागर. धर्मराय को हिकमत कीन्हा, नक रेखा से भग कर लीन्हा. Now he says that devil himself placed a reproductive organ on Durga. धर्मराय करे भोग विलासा, माया को रही तब आसा. Which means Durga was now pregnant. तीन पुत्र अष्टंगी जाए, ब्रह्मा विष्णु शिव नाम धराए. 3 sons were born of Durga from a union with devil and were named Brahma, Vishnu and Shiv. 3 देव विस्तार चलाए, इनमें ये जग धोखा खाए. पुरुष गम्या कैसे के पावे, काल निरंजन जग भरमावे. 3 लोक अपने सुत दीन्हा, सुन निरंजन भाषा लीन्हा. Handing over to his 3 sons the rule of the 3 loks, Prithvi, Patal and Swarg, he himself went up to stay in the vacuum. Vacuum is that place above where he has clandestinely made 3 forms and 3 places. 3 देव सो उनको ध्यावे, निरंजन का वे पार न पावे. Since even Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh could not find their father, so they are addressing him as formless, Nirakar. अलख निरंजन बड़वट पारा, 3 लोक जीव कीन आहारा. ब्रह्मा विष्णु शिव नहीं बचाए, सकल खाए पुन धूर उड़ाए. तिनके सुत हैं 3 दीवा, अंधर जीव करत है सेवा. Now God explains that Durga and Kal have 3 sons, Rajgun Brahma, Satgun Vishnu, Tamgun Shivji. And blind beings pray to them. Blind here means the ignorant beings, considering them to be the ultimate God, pray to them. Look further. तिनके सुत हैं 3 देवा, आंधर जीव करत हैं सेवा. Seva here implies to worshipping. The blinded, ignorant beings lacking the subtle spiritual knowledge keep worshipping the 3 sons of Kal. अकाल पुरुष काहू नहीं चीन्हा, काल पाए सभी गह लीना. 3 देव और अवतारा, ताको भजे सकल संसारा. It is said there are these 3 deities, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and the Asur and Avatar, and the world just keeps on worshipping these avatars. तीनों गुण का ये विस्तारा, धर्मदास मैं कहूं पुकारा. God Kabir Ji says, गुण तीनों की भक्ति में भूल परो संसार. कह कबीर निज नाम विन, कैसे उतरो पार. God says that the following is the scope of 3 qualities, Rajgun Brahma, Satgun Vishnu, Tamgun Shivji. गुण तीनों की भक्ति में भूल परो संसार, कह कबीर निज नाम बिना, कैसे उतरो पार. Nij Ram bin, call it Nij Naam. Now, by souls, this concept needs more clarification that Rajgun is Brahma, Satgun is Vishnu, Tamgun is Shivji. And then some secret of Gita Ji will also be shared with you. This is the evidence in Gita Ji about creation, the birth of these 3. Let's see, Markandeya Puran shows us the quality of these 3. Markandeya Puran has been published by Gita Press Gorakhpur. Published by the Gita Press Gorakhpur. Now I will show you on page 123. Look here on page 123. Markandeya Ji said, Markandeya Ji is saying, we now come here. In this manner, there are 3 stages of Swayambhu Paramatma, self-made God. Rajogun dominant Brahma, Tamogun dominant Rudra, Satagun dominant is the keeper of world, Vishnu. These are the 3 lords and their 3 qualities. Oi hoi. How well it was clarified. Let's make it clearer, because unless the concept of Rajgun Brahma, Satgun Vishnu and Tamogun Shivji is completely clear, the following saying cannot be comprehended. Gun तीनों की भक्ति में ये भूल परो संसार, कहे कबीर निज नाम बिना, कैसे उतरो पार. This is Srimad Devi Bhagavad. Comments included. This includes the Sanskrit part and Where was it published? Ath Devi Bhagavatam Sabhashtikam Samahatmayam, Khemaraj Sri Krishnadas Prakashan, Bombay 41. It was published here. Now begins the third unit. Oho. Ath Srimad Devi Bhagavate Bhasha Tikayute Tritiya Skandha Prarabhyate. Now begins the third unit. Here it is on page 11. On page 11 and dialect included unit 3rd, chapter 5, verse number 8. Here 7 ends and the 8th begins. Lord Shankar is saying to his mother Durga, O mother, if you are always compassionate towards us, then how come did you make me dominant with Tamogun and Brahma with Rajogun while Hari Vishnu has Satgun? Now, look here, this is in Sanskrit. That was the explanation. This is Sanskrit. Here the 7th ends, 8th begins. Yadi dayar dramana na sadam ambike katham ahem vihitacha. Ahem, which means, how come you made me? Tamo guna, Kamalajja, born from the lotus. Brahma holds Rajogun. Why is that? Suvitaha kimu satoguna harihi. And why did you make Vishnu with satoguna? So you can see that with Srimad Devi Bhagavad and the Shiv Puran, the subject has been clarified that Prakriti and Pradhan is used to refer to Durga. And the 3 qualities Rajagun Brahma, Satgun Vishnu, Tamgun Shivji. Now let us show you in Srimad Bhagavad Gita that how with the co-working of Prakriti, nature, Durga and Kal-face Brahma in Sri Krishna led to the origin of the 3 qualities Rajgun Brahma, Satgun Vishnu and Tamogun Shivji. Have a look. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is being shown to you. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita being shown to you, have a look at the 14th chapter. In chapter 14, verses 3, 4 and 5. Aha, here in 3rd. O Arjun, mine, Mahat Brahma Roop Mool Prakriti, Prakriti is Durga, of all the beings, Yoni, that is from where they are born, Ahem Main, in all life forms, I establish all of them. Tat means, with the combination of both, all the life forms are then born. In 4th, O Arjun, in various forms of life in various bodies, a number of figures, meaning the body holder beings are created, Prakriti is the one who conceives them to give birth. She is Durga. Durga is their mother and I am the source of seed, their father. Now let's look at the 5th. O Arjun, Satgun Vishnu, Rajgun Brahma and Tamogun Shankar, these are the 3 qualities of the 3 deities that originated from Durga, originated from nature. They connect the immortal spirit based on the deeds. Satgun Vishnu, Rajgun Brahma, Tamogun Shankar were born from Durga as per the deeds. They keep us here in the body as various degrees of punishments they keep us. Now pious souls, God used to say, मेरी बात दे से ये दुनिया अजब दीवानी, मेरी कही एक ना मानी. What did God say? निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, जहां पर तनिक न न्याय विचार. God Kabir, the ultimate and complete power, the venerable God Kabir, used to say 600 years ago that, O devil, may you be ruined, what tyranny have you conducted? He said to the devil that there is no justice in this world of yours. You have cheated on everyone, and on the basis of lies, you have kept everyone here. And with these lying teachers, you have filled the hearts of innocent people with lies, who now trust the liars and would not listen to me. निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, जहाँ पर तनिक न न्याय विचार। वैश्या ओढ़े मुलमुल खासा, गल मोतियों के हार। वैश्या ओढ़े मुलमुल खासा, गल मोतियों के हार। पतिव्रता को मिले न खाती, ये सूखा नीरस आहार। निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, जहाँ पर तनिक न न्याय विचार। पाखंडियों की पूजा जग में, संत को कहे लबाड़। पाखंडी की पूजा जग में, संत को कहे लबाड़। अज्ञानी को परम विवेकी, और ज्ञानी को मूढ़ गंवार। निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, जहाँ पर तनिक न न्याय विचार। कहे कबीर सुनो भई साधो, यहाँ सब उल्टा व्यवहार। कहे कबीर सुनो भई साधो, यहाँ सब उल्टा व्यवहार। साचे को तो झूठा बतावे, इन झूठों का एतबार। निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, जहाँ पर तनिक न न्याय विचार। कहे कबीर सुनो भई साधो, यहाँ सब उल्टा व्यवहार। कहे कबीर सुनो भई साधो, यहाँ सब उल्टा व्यवहार। साचे को तो झूठा बतावे, इन झूठों का एतबार। निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, निरंजन धन तेरा दरबार, जहाँ पर तनिक न न्याय विचार। हेल ट्रू गुरु।